Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fusion's Ramblings. Yes, in this series, we take a few minutes and we ramble on about random topics. And today's topic is one that we all fear. Well, maybe not, but most of us getting older. Oh no, it's the end of the world. I'm getting old. So, yeah, this is always a fun topic. I recently had a birthday. Happy birthday to me. I forgot to make myself a Minecraft cake. Darn it. Oh well. Anyways, um, you know, everybody gets older. And of course, for some people it's a big deal. For some people it's not a big deal. Some people it's not a big deal until they reach a certain age, and then it's a big deal. Um, we all have our own experiences and preferences when it comes to getting older. Some of us want to be older, some of us want to be younger, some of us are fine where they are. Um, how do I feel about it? Mixed. I mean, I'm okay. I have no reservations about being older um, and what I've accomplished in my life so far, which, isn't much, but hey, I've had some unique experiences living in different countries, experiencing different cultures, having, lots of different experiences with work, everything from, you know, cooking to janitorial to a hotel to automotive, landscaping, web design, call center, content design, leadership, and and upper management, which is where I'm at now. Um, Definitely, happy with that experience, and I've had a lot of different experiences in life as well, for personal items, and accomplishments, whether it's, hobbies that I've done, places I've been, people that I've met, things that I've experienced, you name it. So, overall, there's no really major complaints, around that. Are there things that I wish I could go back and do differently? Absolutely. But then I always come back and I tell myself, well, if I had done that differently, would I have experienced these items or those things? Or because I did something differently, maybe I wouldn't have experienced all, everything that I've experienced currently. So, there's pros and cons to that. I'm not going to go into time travel and going back and redoing things and, um, what the consequences, benefits, or changes would be. Um, but overall, I would say I'm happy with where I'm at and what I've experienced. And I'm sure, and I have a long time to go, of course. So, I mean, at least I'm planning on reaching at least 100, if not more, because, hey, technology's changing, medicine's changing, who knows? Living longer might be a normal thing in the next 20, 30, 40 years. So who knows? We'll see, I like reading those books where, for example, Ringworld from Larry Niven, where the main character, he's celebrating his 250th birthday, um, when the book starts. So it's interesting to think about what would I be doing if I lived to be 250 years old. Um, and of course, there are reservations about that because in today's world, everything revolves around money. Does that mean I have to work for those 250 years and struggle to make ends meet and, keep having different jobs and whatnot? I mean, it depends, of course, on your jobs and where you're at and are things expensive and whatnot. I mean, that all makes a difference as far as what you might need to do to be able to support yourself that long. I mean, most people today try to retire, um, between the ages of 60 and 70. Retirement age varies depending on country and circumstance. But then there's always the question of, okay, well, if you live longer than that, what does the retirement age then become? Does the retirement age change to where, you're 180 before you can retire? Or do you retire temporarily for like 20 years and then you go back to work and then retire again? I mean, I guess there's all kinds of things that you could do. Um, and that could be interesting, when you think about it, is like all right, I've got some savings. I'm going to take a break for the next 10 years and just enjoy stuff, and then I'll come back and continue work, because I mean, ideally, obviously, if you're going to live that long, you're going to be in a physical shape that's good enough to allow you to work and stuff. Because I mean, if you reached beyond 100 and you were old and feeble, then what's the point? Right? I mean, that wouldn't be very fun or practical for that matter, because then life would just become a large struggle as far as trying to, just make ends meet and all of that. Unless, of course, you're a billionaire and you don't have to worry about money ever because uh, you just live off of your savings and you make enough interest that doesn't matter. You never have to work again because you just make enough interest to survive on. That's an interesting concept as well that maybe I should create a topic on at some point. Um, but in this one, getting older, I think it's all about how you view things and how you react to things. I will admit that some people, they reach a certain age and it's just kind of like they kind of, I mean, they stop. And I think that's a mistake for many people. I mean, your body and your mind, you're used to doing stuff all the time, whatever it is, whether it's working, whether it's hobbies, you name it. The moment you stop doing stuff, I think that's part of, the reason why we don't see more people reaching the ripe old age of 100 or more, because um, they just stop doing stuff. And then, hey, our minds are unfortunately very unstable. We start thinking about, why am I here? What's the point? What am I going to do? All people have to take care of me. Um, all of that stuff, right? And I realize that some people they don't have a lot of control over that because of physical ailments or items like that. But then there are a lot of circumstances where mind over matter sort of counts, in that even if you are disabled from a physical standpoint, what do you do with your mind? I mean, I read all of those stories all the time, and I'm sure you've seen them before as well, where, you know, someone, is in an accident and they lose mobility, or someone's born that way. Like, I just watched a video last week about this guy that has been in an iron lung his entire life, clear back early in the 50s when polio was a big thing, and there was no treatment, cure, anything for it. And so the only way to survive was to put children in iron lungs, basically giant machines that created a negative pressure around their body and then put a positive pressure, so it would suck air into their lungs and then push the air out of their lungs. And of course, many didn't survive very long. But this guy had a mindset that he wanted to do stuff. He wanted to go to school. He wanted to go to college. He wanted to, become a lawyer. And yet he couldn't survive outside of that iron lung, you know, more than a few seconds. And over time, he trained himself and he challenged himself to, be able to get out of the lung, walk around for a few minutes, do some things, then get back in the lung. Um, and, from a child perspective, wow, that's motivation for you. And then the thing is that he continued it. Um, all the way to this day. He's 75 years old. He's still in an iron lung. Um, and I can't remember the reason why, he was never able to be treated, um, so that he wouldn't have to be in the iron lung. Um, maybe it's because I think it was because his lungs had I forget whatever it is, too much, so that they couldn't, fix it. Um, not sure, but I mean, he accomplished going to college, graduating, he's written a book, he's, very happy with his life. He never got married. He almost did because he had a girl and the girl liked him, but then her parents stopped the wedding. And then after that, he decided not to pursue that type of relationship anymore just because he didn't want to put others, you know, in the responsible role of trying to take care of him. And, he learned to take care of himself, um, for all those years. And so getting older, I think, is a matter of, how you look at things. What is your perspective in life? Do you keep yourself busy? What do you do to engage yourself and ensure that, you're not, um, just letting yourself go, right? Um, so it's all, up to you. For me, I plan to be busy as long as I can, and I'm able to. I really don't want others to have to take care of me. I want to be, self-sufficient in that manner, um, unless it's physically impossible for me to take care of myself. So, who knows what'll happen in the future, but I plan on keeping going. I'm not that old. I'm young enough that I've still got a good, long time in front of me. At least that's the plan, right? But, my advice is that no matter how old you are or how young you are, always look for the opportunities of, what can you do for yourself? Don't worry about what others think about you. Don't worry about what's going to happen in the future. You're never going to be able to plan for everything. I know some people try. Um, just take it one day at a time, enjoy the day, and then when the next day comes, do the same thing and, keep on going. Uh, Day to day, and of course you plan things obviously, but, from a perspective of, you know, getting older, you just keep on going and keep yourself busy and enjoy life. And that's what's most important. Anyways, I think we're almost up on our time today. So thank you for joining today as we ran through the day and the night exploring some bases on our way to a place. And we shall see you in the next video.